let's talk about this. Everybody was trying to tune in, I guess, to Twitter, and it crashed.
It crashed.
Because they had too many people on there or whatever. Elon went on, I guess, to explain that he tried to launch it from his page, and he has 100-something millions of followers, and the system couldn't take it. So they moved it to another guy who had less followers, and it was fine. And we kept saying, heads are gonna roll. I kept saying that. But then I thought about it. No, because it's Elon's fault. They told him before. He said something about he tried to go live and he crashed the system before. So he knew from before. Well, no, I guess heads should still roll. Because even
if he knew from the beginning.
If he knew from before and he said, I want to go live on my thing, somebody should have told him, sir, I know you're a billionaire, but you crashed before. I
wonder if they did tell him, he just don't listen.
That's true too.
Because he could be stubborn, is he?
That's true. With Elon Musk, you don't know.
You don't know how he's,
so it crashed.
Stuff. Okay.
Now, this is my issue. Even after it crashed, Ron DeSantis was able to go on, and he was able to give his point.
Set the foundation of him running.
Yes.
For president.
Yes.
Okay. Bigger president, because we know he's little president, governor to Florida.
Yes. Before I get deep into this, Pamela Thomas says, hi from Memphis. Parents and Morant need mentorship on how to govern themselves. Prayers to him. I agree. I think the parents need that too.
And you know what? Hopefully, Pam, with this, if it's all true, God forbid, that the buy was really like his life kind of thing. Right. That everybody in his family, including his parents, will go take it serious about him and his mental health.
All right, so back to DeSantis.
Back to mental health.
Well, he would ban that probably in Florida. No, we don't want none of that.
Not for the ball players. That's a waste of money.
No.
That's a waste of money.
You better pull yourselves up and do it.
Who knows how he thinks?
But I'm gonna tell you. Okay,
go ahead.
So the thing that irritated me about this whole thing is once he got back on and was able to speak, he was able to be people was able to ask him questions about his.
It was
what
a town hall setting.
No, it was people on Zoom.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Zoom.
Okay.
You could talk and ask Clubhouse. It was like Clubhouse.
Okay.
And ask him questions personally.
Good.
So,
that's probably that's the way he would probably love to do it moving forward.
And he gave some very interesting
you told
things.
Me. You gave
now
me
I'm laughing because I have TikTok on my phone and that's where I took the notes. So I'm gonna I have it on my text on my phone. But that's fine, and I didn't text it to you. I forgot, but that's fine because I can go off my head.
Some of the stuff?
The main stuff I can remember.
Okay.
Rather than the Democrats addressing what he said,
if they all heard it,
they did.
That's the problem
because you can come back or you can come back and listen.
Okay, but you got to go on TikTok.
It doesn't matter.
On Twitter.
It doesn't matter.
No.
Rather than them, I saw it on YouTube.
Okay.
Rather than them addressing what he said, they decided to make fun of the fact that the Twitter crashed.
The system crashed.
I told you guys.
Elon should know better.
We are not Democrat and we are not Republicans. The Democrats,
we're not either party.
The Democrats play checkers and the Republicans play chess. They are always 5 steps ahead of the Democrats. You took this opportunity as Democrats to talk about how Twitter failed versus the actual things the man said.
He was saying you had an opportunity to hear what
you had an opportunity to rebuttal,
but you talked about the technical problem.
And then Biden, with his old self, decided his people made fun of it on his website, said something about here's our campaign link, and it works. Trying to poke fun of the fact that his thing didn't work.
You got to cheese.
Where Biden, at that point, in my opinion, he needed to not talk about how his link works. He needed to say, I listened to what he said later on. It came on after he can make a joke about it if he wants to. After the link finally got
in.
And I had some things I have to counter against what this man said. But Biden didn't do that. So I got some interesting takes from this thing.
Okay.
I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it.
Okay.
The first thing that I want to say is if DeSantis is really true about being the president of the United States, Trump is going to have a difficult time with him.
He knows that. That's why he's nervous now. For him to even call him a name, DeSantis, he didn't call all the other people names.
He's going to have a time with this man.
Okay.
This man not only talked about, if you listen to the Twitter, what he's going to do, but he also told you how he's going to do it.
One of the things, though, that you did clarify, and you guys, we got to be real careful when we deal with the media.
Oh, let me talk about that.
Because he clarified some things that
we
were already getting ready to bury this man.
Well, I still don't like him. But
know what I mean.
Right,
for those things.
And that's another reason why I'm mad at the Democrats and the media talking about the whole front story was how Twitter crashed and not about what he said. He pretty much said the media is a fake, like Trump. They don't report the whole news.
They don't.
The people specifically asked him about the stuff that's in right now that people are talking about.
Critical race theory.
They asked him about critical race. Now, let me tell you what he said about that.
Go ahead.
Pretty much what we said. I don't believe that. Okay, he gave an example. He said they think when I say I don't want to do critical race theory, that I don't want them to learn about slavery. I want to erase slavery from the books. And nothing
about black people.
Negative. I want white people to look good. I'm paraphrasing.
I don't want them to feel bad.
He's stale. He doesn't talk like this, and that's his problem.
Okay.
If he spoke like I did, people would like him more.
Okay.
Because
he has no charisma.
He has no charisma, and he's dull. And he doesn't say it like it is.
Okay.
Trump is a buffoon, but he at least says it like it is.
Exactly.
Trump, let me go back to my critical race theory.
Go ahead.
Okay. This is the way Ron DeSantis, in our language, the way we talk, should say what he thinks about critical race
and this
theory.
Is what he said on Twitter.
Not the way I'm saying it,
but if you read word in it.
I'm paraphrasing. I'm putting it in street lingo.
Okay.
I don't care that you talk about slavery, but what you're not going to do is put your own personal spin on teaching about slavery and about how the white man is bad and how a lot of other things didn't play into slavery outside of just white men.
Okay.
There were black people who owned slaves. There was an economic attachment to slaves. Even when Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, it was an attachment to it that had nothing to do with how he felt about y'all as people.
Okay.
It was he wanted to keep the states.
He
wanted to keep the states together.
Is he saying until it's taught?
Unless
in the fullness or what?
He doesn't like when you add on to what is already in the book.
But why would you be so fearful of that when you just nip it out all the way?
I agree.
Okay.
He wants you to just pick up the book. And whatever the book says about slavery, that's what you're supposed to read. I don't want teachers reading about slavery and then closing the book and saying, okay, remember that one school where the teacher had them all dressed up as cotton pickers?
Yeah, slave owners and cotton pickers. Yeah, they would read
the book, and then the teacher wanted them to do a reaction of
reenact.
And so they did blackface, and they was cotton pickers.
Yes.
He don't want that. He don't want no adding on to the book.
But here's the thing that I have a concern.
I have a problem with. I'll tell you what I have a problem with him on this, but not that part. That part I agree with.
I had just seen a documentary about. I gotta write the name down because y'all need to see it. I think it's on Hulu or Netflix. Netflix. I'm sorry. It was a documentary on blacks in America.
Okay.
And one of the things that I didn't even think about historically, I don't think it's in the books. That's information. I didn't know, like when they would talk about slavery, as far as the slave owners, they got money back because we were considered property. So our property was lost. They got money back for that. I didn't know there was areas in New York where if you need a slave for a day or for 4 hours, you can go by and pick them up and get your slave for 4 hours.
Exactly.
I didn't know that racism was even embedded in our amendments,
right,
and our laws.
Yes, that's
not in the books.
That's the issue I have with him. There's no, you have to humanize the things that people read in history.
And that's his story. Remember our old pastor used to say, that's his story.
But I certainly understand when he's saying, I don't want, don't add on. To it. You don't need to do blackface and pick cotton outside in the school to teach about slavery.
And the funny thing is, this is not the Bible. The Bible says don't add to it or take away.
Right.
Dude,
yes,
you can do adding to it, because when you find out more information that was missing in the book.
So on critical race theory, the issue I have with DeSantis, and somebody should ask him this. See, people don't ask the right question. Yeah. What do you think about Trump's hair?
They already.
What do you think about Trump? He called you he was saying you were blank. What do you think about that?
They already plant the question, people to ask questions. So they want specific ones.
The question that they should ask DeSantis, even on a debate, big giant head Tim Scott should ask this question, because he's black, right?
Yeah.
And you're on a debate thing with him, right? Yeah. And they're talking about critical race theory, right?
It will be debated.
So you would think the camera would pan to his big giant Rocket Gibraltar head.
And have ask that question, Tim.
And have Tim
represent, man.
Yeah,
represent.
But he won't. That's the problem I have with
black
him.
Man, represent.
Okay. I understand about what you're saying. I agree with you. I don't want people painting their face black and doing cotton and all that.
Reenactments.
Just do the book, man. Do the book.
Okay.
But there are some intricacies about slavery that are not in the book, that come from going to museums of Black history museums. Are you opposed to kids going to Black history museums?
Thank you.
Outside
of the book,
you took away critical race theory, but are you going to replace that by saying, I'm encouraging these same schools to go to the National Jewish Museum, to go to the Native American Museum, to go to the African American Museum?
Was saying how truthful the media can be and not be, and take words and stuff from his comments. He was going to higher school levels. He was going to college.
That forget it.
Anybody over 18, you don't tell them what to read and not to read and what to learn.
Now, as far as the diversity, he's clear on that. He doesn't want anybody to feel like you get special privileges. He would be somebody, in my opinion, he hasn't said it, that would be against affirmative action. Anything that, if you feel like it's giving somebody else a head of somebody else, he's not going to be for that. I feel like that. He never said it. Somebody should ask him about that. Does he believe in affirmative action? So that was a good one.
And I told you affirmative action may go away.
Yeah.
Because the government would always try to make sure that the playing field was the same with every company.
Right.
Government related jobs or not. Right. How many Hispanics you got?
Yeah.
How many blacks you got? How many women? But now people are filling out applications. They're not saying their race.
Or you mix.
Or their age.
If you mix, then I say, well, I'm white.
And you have the option now to say, I'd rather not say.
Right.
So they can't keep tabs of that anymore.
Right. So that's the other thing that, obviously, I'm going to tell y'all the things I actually agree with him with. But these are the things that I don't, and that's shaky with him.
Okay.
The reason why I don't think he'll be president. The abortion, of course. He has no
6 weeks. Don't care if the mom is in harm. She was violated. Incest.
No age restriction.
You don't care.
No
abortion
of any R word.
Any
none
kind.
Of it. I do not believe in it.
It happens to him.
Right.
Would he change his mind?
I don't believe in it. I believe that it is
to his daughter.
I believe that it is the M word. I believe that God does not like it.
Happens to his granddaughter.
Right. And that it should be outlawed. Okay. He's
clear on
LGBTQ. He's clear.
The border.
The
border.
No, I'm saying the stuff I don't agree with.
Oh, okay.
The LGBTQ.
Oh, okay.
Clear.
Okay.
If he could, he probably abandons them from getting married or whatever.
And if he's
Bible
And that's what people are arguing about. That's not Bible.
I know, but in he's saying that
God says love.
I know. But it's
not condemn, not judge.
A marriage is a man and a woman. That I'm saying he's clear. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no nothing.
Okay, he's cut and dry on
Cut and dry. Okay. You know where he falls on it. You don't have to, he's like Pence. Mother, what do you think, Mother? Mother, do we believe in gay marriage?
Honey,
well, Mother said we can't believe in it, so we're not going to believe in it. Well, Trump said he don't care. Well, that's Trump. Well, Trump also said he was going to kill Mike Pence.
But honey, we still need to love. God showed us to love still. You may have to change the laws, but you can still love them.
And that's, to me, is the thing that's going to separate him from the evangelicals.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He has the same thought pattern, but there's no love in it. Yeah. He's like a machine. That's not compute.
But didn't
that's
you say
not compute.
They're calling him the Terminator?
He's a Terminator.
You were the first ones that I
heard. I called him Terminator before New York Times.
Heard this on Woods Report. She called him Terminator too.
If y'all remember, I've been calling him Terminator for a long time. Okay. Now everybody's calling him Terminator. Yeah. As if they watched our show. Nobody watched our show. Okay.
This one show, they call him the Terminator. We're do that too.
With 3 people that watch the show. Wolfgang said Democrats are catty, and Sharon said so he doesn't want the real story told about slavery. Okay, true. All right. The things I agree with him. Now, I'm going to get kicked in the butt on the comments, and I know y'all going to come after me. Mm-hmm. But these are the parts that may get him elected.
Oh, okay. And what is that, pray tell?
He doesn't like the whole thing that went down with Wells Fargo and how they discriminated against people. Mm-hmm. He doesn't feel like these lower financial institutions should be able to make their own rules up.
And that's how it is now.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, well, you have a good credit score, but I don't like your hair.
I kept asking her when we would hear the Wells Fargo issues with systemic racism within the Black people don't get a loan, or they only get a certain amount. They can only move in this certain.
He don't even want you to even put your race on the application.
State Farm, they may not give you as much money when your house burns down.
All we need to look at is your credit score, and that's it. That's it. Your credit score and any other financial things.
And then you said how it ties into
the government.
How the government.
Now, they asked him, what would you do to make that happen? Right. I'm not going to go a lengthy thing, but he gave a
brief plan
and said that it is within the power of the presidency to be able to work with some government agency, and they can mandate that on a government level.
Because anytime you tie the government in, it's more of a mandate. It's more of a, you got to follow this policy.
I agreed with him when he talked about, I'm a crypto person.
Yeah.
He said, if I'm president, there will not be this national card. The government right now has put out, is supposed to come out, this national bank card. I know y'all heard about it. And I laugh when people say they're not going to get the card. You don't have to get the card. The card, your banks will use the card.
It's optional.
But the bank will have it.
Oh.
So when you use your card at an ATM or at McDonald's, the bank does the transaction, but the bank puts it through that card system, and then the money comes back to you. So they're still going to be able to track.
But that card will track how you're spending.
He said that card is going to track everything you spend your money on. DeSantis said they went to every governor and you sign off on each state. He said Florida said no. And I put a bill together.
You know, he's a little mini president.
He said I banned it.
Florida.
No Floridian will have to have that card, and any bank that uses that card will be in trouble. So if you live in Florida, nobody's going to be tracking your money. He also says, I believe, if I was president, I'll get rid of it nationally.
Okay.
If I was president.
So he likes the privacy that the consumer.
Well, you know, Republicans don't want you to know how they spend their money. So
I know.
You don't need to know what I'm spending my money on.
And that opens the door for more illegal activities. Well, think about that, Ron.
Okay, so that's that.
I know we don't want the government involved in a lot of stuff. But I don't want that
card either.
I'm just saying it opens the door for more illegal
The other thing that he said was crypto, because, you know, I'm a crypto person. there should be no government mandate over crypto. He said, leave Bitcoin alone. If people got Bitcoin, leave it alone. Let them do it. Let them have their crypto. They making money. Crypto is not American. It's all over the world. So you could trade with people in Africa and Switzerland, and we all got Bitcoin and Dogecoin. And somebody said something, go Doge. That's why Elon Musk
likes him. He hasn't endorsed him, but he likes him.
Anybody who knows Elon Musk knows he is crypto.
Yeah, he's crypto man.
That's why he's endorsing him. I think that's
he's
why.
The only president that's really, not president. He's the only person running that actually talks about crypto.
Thank you.
In that whole world. A lot of people don't understand the world, so they probably won't touch it as much. But government always wants to be involved in everything.
If you are a person and you are here illegal, you better run. Because when he becomes president,
he didn't like what Biden did.
He don't like what Trump did. He don't like what Biden did. He thinks the border should be closed.
Yeah, he is strict
on
that.
He pretty much said, after I put my hand on the Bible and you swear me in,
that's the first
I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go into the White House. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write an executive order to close the border.
That's the first thing he said. When he said, when I become president, he don't want nobody else in this country. He said, we have no room. We have no room for them. And some people feel that way.
He said right now, Biden, and I don't know how true this is, he said Biden is allowing people to have asylum. They give them a court date. And then they release them into the country.
And they can go anywhere in the country.
But just make sure you come back on that court date.
Like they will. Y'all know John Doe. I should say it's Spanish name.
It could be any name. It's people from all over the world.
Right. It's all over, not just his Latinos. When you give them a court date, they gonna say no habla.
You can't even give.
You won't find him nowhere.
You can't even give an American a court date. We don't even show up for court dates.
True.
So that's that one. True. He talked about banning books.
What was the thing with that? Because the media apparently got a lot of stuff.
The media is lying.
Okay, clean it up.
If you read the bill, he said they never tell y'all the bill that I signed.
What did he sign?
He said, and we'll see if it's real because I'm going to look up that bill. He said, I never ban books. You can get any book you want in the state of Florida. What I did is I took them from one level of grade to the next. No kid in kindergarten should have Kill a Mockingbird in his library. So I'm just throwing out the example of what he said.
Okay.
I took books from one school and said that's not appropriate for this school. It's appropriate for middle school, or it's appropriate for high school.
So age appropriate.
Age appropriate.
Okay.
He said also in the bill I wrote, it's up to the parents. If you want the book there, it's fine.
So what are we hearing on the news about places that are banning books?
Then they asked him about that poem, the inaugural poem.
The black girl that spoke at the inaugural.
Yes, inauguration.
Inauguration.
He said, I never banned her poem. It was a parent who complained because of the bill I wrote. The bill that says that a parent can complain, and the school has to look at it and decide on what to do. That school, he said, did not ban that poem. They took it from the lower ages, and because they wouldn't understand some of the stuff that she said in the poem, I guess, as far as race or whatever, and they made it where it was their older kids could get access to it, not the younger ones.
He's going to have to really clean that up, because on The View and other places, they are showing books that are being banned.
He said that.
Who's doing this? Are the schools?
Now,
is the government?
He said if you really want to talk about somebody banning books, look at Amazon. He said Amazon actually bans books.
Why?
And he's right.
Where'd they get it from?
If you put a book up on Amazon and Amazon looks at it and says, we don't think that's appropriate, they will ban your book.
But where did they get that idea from? No one was banning books 2-3 years ago.
I know.
Y'all remember? Especially due COVID.
So Nobody
was banning books.
We're gonna reevaluate event. What is it? Come back to that.
Yeah, he may have
He's running for president. So people gonna ask him this all the time.
Yes.
Then they asked him about the NAACP. Putting a travel advisory on
Florida. What was the comeback for that?
I'm speaking in my language. He's stale. I told you he doesn't talk
That's
like
what Sarah said.
How?
He has no chance against Trump. He'll eat him up.
If he spoke like how I did, people would listen.
We're going to.
How dare you put an advisory, travel advisory on my state when there's kids being shot every weekend in Chicago? Why don't you put a travel advisory on Chicago?
Hey, did he say Chicago?
He said Chicago.
Why you gotta say Chicago? When you just told me, you told me that the highest crime rate.
Thank you. We're not even on the list.
It's Minneapolis, Minnesota,
and Detroit, and St. Louis, and Milwaukee.
Everybody's been dogging Chicago out. You notice that? I'm kind of tired of this. Like Chicago,
we live here,
and our numbers are not as high as Minneapolis.
Now, I just want to. Well, and that's kind of what he's saying. There's a whole list of states that y'all should be putting travel advisories on. Why? Because of my state. Because you think I'm banning books and want to take slavery out of school.
Mm-hmm. And shutting down drag queen shows.
Well, he don't. I told you, LGBTQ.
I know. They don't have a chance. They don't have a chance.
If you gay and you live in Florida, you better move out.
I get it.
Now, the other one was Disney World.
Yeah, what did he say about Disney?
People keep saying he don't talk like this. It's me.
He should though.
That's what I'm saying.
If he talk like that, I would want to see him in Trump.
People keep all this Disney World stuff. Now, the thing that irritates me, you know why I'm going after Disney World, everybody?
Why?
Because they think that they're different than SeaWorld and Universal Studios. And they should pay different and they should be treated different because they're bigger. And you guys know how I am. No one should be special. Not black people, not Latino people, Disney World, nobody is special.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
That's his concern.
Why
does the media make us feel?
He says, and you would think my fellow Republicans.
He said that.
Yes, would support me because this is big business.
Big business is bullying like NRA does.
So he said, so you would think they would support me. If not, you would think the Democrats would say, well, that's the one thing we like about him. Is he doesn't let a big business bully him.
Yes. If that's the truth, that's why I'm telling you guys, this man needs to come out more and talk.
No, he don't. He's dangerous.
No. Terminator needs to come forth.
Then he said,
because we need to know what media has construed and what lies they're putting out on him and cutting his lines short. They got us disliking this man because he's going after Disney and Mickey Mouse.
Then he said he went on. They didn't say Comover's name.
Okay.
But you knew they was talking about Comover.
Okay.
The person before said they was going to build a wall. They said they was going to do this. Yeah. And a lot of this stuff didn't happen. So what do you have? Why are you going to be different? That's what they asked him. What makes you different than the guy before that has all these things? He said, I don't make promises. He said, everything I say I'm going to do, I do. Go ask the people in Florida.
Terminator 2. He Terminator, y'all. He don't even make promises.
He said, I don't make promises. He said, I pass bills.
I want y'all to see how I rule
Florida.
I rule the country that
I know how to govern. I'm governed, and everything I ask for, I get.
Wow.
He is scary. That's the one y'all need to be scared of.
Yeah, not Trump.
Sharon said, Florida is way on the bottom for healthcare. Good one, Sharon. They should ask him about that. What do you think about healthcare? All the stuff that Florida's weak on, they should ask him about.
They got to get him. Yeah. That's the only way they can. That's what debates are. Debates are for.
He said, but I can tell you one thing I know how to do. And I'm just, again, it's not what
paraphrasing.
He reminds me of Clinton on this part. I got so much stuff on people. they'll pass anything I want. I know how to negotiate, and I know how to make people give me what I want.
He said that?
Not that way. He said it that way.
But we all looking at Kim going, he said that. I know you said it in your own words, but he said that. You know what? You can't be too much far away from what he said. If he said, "I know how to get things done,"
when I say, if I start my sentence off by,
it's my own words.
If I start my sentence off by saying, "These my own words," I'm paraphrasing. I'm kind of going with what he was saying, but saying it a different way. And then I said, "You go." He said that.
Y'all gotta understand why I asked, because however she paraphrased it. He's saying that I know how to get things done. I got information on people. I know how to negotiate.
Hillary and Clinton had some on everybody.
Yeah.
So everything that Clinton wanted, he got. Because he would go take you out to lunch and say, "Bob,
ooh,
you want me to release that tape? You better vote yes."
No.
When that bill come across,
no, Mr. Clinton, no. We'll give it with you tomorrow with a signed document.
In my opinion, that's what he was saying without saying it. He reminded me of Denzel Washington in Training Day. I'm putting books on all y'all.
That's why you won that Academy.
How dare you take his side over me? I'm putting books on all of y'all.
Wow.
That's what he's kind of saying. When I get in that office, they better not say what? I can't get what I want.
No.
You better hope everything in your life is lined up.
Y'all vetoed my bill? So yeah, he's Terminator.
Now, what's gonna hurt him is Trump is a clown. And people watch clowns.
The sanctimonious.
He'll be in the middle of talking about what he's gonna do. And Trump is going to be on the side on the debate going like this.
Or walking behind him like he did Hillary.
And she kept talking. And he walked behind her. Why didn't Hillary stop talking? She should have stopped talking and said, "What are you doing, you big doofus?" But she kept talking.
Oh my God.
And that's what he's going to do to him.
Yeah, he's going to still be talking though. Nothing's going to shake him.
"Oh, you didn't ban any books? Oh, Mr. No banning books sanctimonious. Yeah, but no, yeah, okay, all right. You didn't ban any books." All right.
But you know what? If Trump has some sense, he can get him on those areas where he's very stern and a stickler.
No, this is what he's going to do. If he's smart, when Trump goes after him, he needs to turn around and go, "Well, you know, Mar-a-Lago is still in Florida. How about those potholes in front of you on your street?"
I don't know. It may get ugly. Because I don't know how Trump would come back from any kind of comments like that. Because he does still live in Florida. I'm the reason why you got in the office in the first place.
Oh, really? And I'm the reason why you buried your wife in the backyard and got a tax break.
Well, I'm sure the LGBTQ community don't like you.
Oh, but they like you, Mr. Grab 'em by the you-know-what?
Hey, that's fine with me.
That's what people gonna want to see.
They want to see the back and forth.
He's not gonna do that.
He's not that.
He's not gonna do that. So that's the part of
but
me that...
Tim Scott and them are ready to debate with this man big time.
If Fred Flintstone gets in there,
and then what's the lady's
when
name?
he calls what's his name, Jersey?
Chris.
She calls him Fred Flintstone. If Fred Flintstone is there, he'll hold both of their feet to the fire.
Yeah.
So let's see.
They'll get him. They'll get him on the weakness area.
But I kind of would have preferred the news media go the route we're going and talk about what he actually said versus the Twitter breaking down. We all know it crashed. Okay, get over that story. Move on. What did the man say?
So maybe,
and what are the Democrats saying in response to what he said? Somebody should be saying, "Oh, you didn't ban books. Oh, but there's a clause in that bill that did blah, blah, blah." Right. You see what I'm saying?
Does anybody know that bill to talk about?
See, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's my take on...
So maybe tomorrow people will start talking more about what he actually said. We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay.
All right, y'all. That's my take on Ron DeSantis. We'll hear more about what he has to say. Another governor that's a Republican that you watched today on The View.
He's a pretty cool guy. I kind of like him.
Okay, now you said
How do you even say his name? Sununu.
Now you said he was on The View and he's pro-choice.
He's pro-choice as a Republican,
but he's also pro-gun. Like he's not getting rid of any guns.
And he made sense because Kim and I go back on this. That NR, what is it? AR-15. He said there's not a lot of a high percent of murders in his state, New Hampshire. I think he's New Hampshire. And I don't think how many people live in New Hampshire. I guess a lot, but he would brag about what's going on in his state and things that he's already doing. Governors are little presidents,
right.
So they got to talk about what's going on in their state, like Romney did with the whole health care, like Obamacare. And he was pretty much saying, "No, I won't ban the guns. I'm not about banning guns." Because he said mental health, and right now we got to find a way to deal with the people that are going off. Because I was telling Kim, he said, me banning the gun, even though it was done, he said there wasn't a lot of shootings back in how many years ago when they had it banned. And he said, me banning that gun is not going to stop the shootings. Okay. Me banning that AR-15, people are going to still go out and act cuckoo or whatever draws them to hurt people. Because I'm thinking, if you ban a gun, that means no more future sales, no more future purchasing. People who got them,
they still gonna have them.
How you gonna go to everybody's house? Give up your AR-15
and good luck with that.
Ma'am, you've had your AR-15.
I told you the reason why I don't like the whole compensation gun thing. I told y'all we not Democrats or Republicans. I'm conservative on gun issues. Is because every time there's a mandate, black people always get the short end of that stick. They gonna come get our guns, and then the Bubba, he gonna have his buried in the backyard somewhere.
But I don't think they can come and get everybody's guns. That's why
they ain't gonna come and get nobody's guns.
But he made a comment about that, and then the
audience didn't like it.
The audience didn't
like
it.
So let's listen.
I like how Whoopi responded to the audience.
Let's listen.
Access to mental health, we're going to get at the core of the issue, which is what spurs a lot of the violence.
There's crazy people all over the world.
Stop. No booing.
No Republican will ever come back here if you're going to boo.
We need to talk to people to find out what they're thinking and are they thinking in the right way. He's not going to be perfect. None of them are. But at least give people the opportunity to say what's going on.
All right.
I agree with her.
I agree.
Because we always need a platform to hear everybody's side, even the independent voters as well. And you may not like what they say. You may want to ask questions about why you feel that way. Why have you had experience, whatever? But the audience, I was so surprised that they even booed.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you try to guide. We've been in audiences. Where they have you clap.
Well, they don't have. Maybe that person's part of the writer's strike.
They may be part of the writer's strike. They don't want to write a sign. Don't boo. Don't boo. Clap. Applause.
That person,
applause.
Because on Wendy Williams, it was that the white lady.
Yeah.
And she's a producer.
I think what's her name got rid of her.
Yeah, she did. Sherry Shepherd
got rid of her.
But I think they might be part of the writers' strike. They don't have no audience.
Because that audience is kind of like
the audience is going crazy on The View.
But thank you, Whoopi, because regardless of how we feel about each other politically, in our political views,
you got to let people talk.
Yes, don't boo them. So
and
that was it.
Another thing, when are you going to find a candidate that you agree with everything they say?
Thank you.
You got to pick out the stuff that's important to you.
Yes.
And if that person speaks to the things that's important to you, sometimes you got to let the things that you believe in, but that's not that important to you or don't affect you personally.
Yes.
Because if I'm like a white person, you getting rid of critical race theory, I am concerned about it because I do want people to learn.
Right. And you got to clean that up because people will take your words and go.
But, right. But if I'm 65, I'm thinking of Social Security more.
Social Security, health. Because I'm a cancer survivor, still getting
I'm
scans.
thinking of healthcare.
I want help. That's the top. My Social Security, my health. I get it with the pro-choice, pro-life. I get it. Me personally, I like people to have their own choice.
Yeah.
But I personally would not have an abortion.
Right.
Me personally.
So that doesn't abortion is not top of my list.
No, it's not. So not in
it's
my
something
age.
I think about, but it's not top.
Thank you.
So you have to look at what the things are that's top. Guns may not be top. You're a person that don't even own a gun, or if you're a person that don't have any ideas on mental health or what other ways to stop all of these craziness around. I think it's a matter of not only, I mean, the bottom line is the world's getting worse. I mean, we can't say nothing about that.
It's the Wild Wild West.
But I think people it was something after COVID that just sent everybody crazy.
Set it off.
I think people got worse. Not saying we weren't bad in the 60s and all that. But it was something about COVID.
A lot of people did die in 2020.
I think a lot of people lost their relatives.
And death is in the air.
It was in the air. And you didn't even know if you was going to die or not.
Oh, my grandmother or my dad or my mom. Somebody y'all know somebody that had passed away.
Yeah. So I think you got to handle that first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree. I'm glad she handled it that way. Did you see Sonny's face?
Mm-mm.
She was like, let him go on and boo. She don't care.
I know. And that's why she gets death threats. You have an ugly spirit. You can't.
But Sarah was like, I'm glad
Sarah is my girl, y'all, because she's like us politically. She's like, whatever.
It depends on what mood. Yeah, not mood, but it depends on what he's saying.
Yes, he's pro-choice,
and I'm the type of person, not him, because we got DeSantis.
Oh, not
up
this
again.
man. Ooh.
He is not pro-choice.
Gosh, no.
He's the opposite.
He won't even like in cases of this, and this.
Right. But yeah, so I liked when you brought up that guy and talked about. He's a governor too,
and he said he had a talk with Governor DeSantis 2 weeks ago, and they asked him what they felt about him, and he was like, we don't always agree on everything, and I like when they say that we don't.
Right.
We don't always agree because he's pro-choice and he's pro-life.
Right.
So that's one thing they don't agree on, but they're both Republicans.
Oh.
But he is part of the government, less government. He is always for less government.
What did I do with
each state does its own. Each mini governor is a mini president.
Yes.
He's for that. And other things, big government, big companies, taxed, keep things in the country. A lot of stuff they are in agreement on.
Right.
But they tried to get him on. Why you vote for Trump? The last election.
And what did he say?
He said that was the person that was running for he was selected as the Republican. He said, I don't agree with everything that man do or say. I'm not going to say he's a good man or he's whatever.
Right.
He told, like most other people, I voted because I wanted him to put a Supreme Court person in, and he did it.
Okay.
I wanted him for certain tax breaks or whatever. He did it.
And he put that in.
So he had to choose his battles.
Okay.
So that's it.
All right. So real quick, I'm going to talk about the latest on this bicycle city bike Karen.
Oh, yeah. What's up with this? Because she didn't like being called Karen.
I'm so sick of this story, but I gotta finish it because
you said
the first thing I did was I said that I went in on her, which I still don't like her, and I didn't like how she reacted.